lot of teams, including us, aren't in their best form. Like, I think teams, I don't know what it is. Like, there's just something like it's not as clean anymore. Maybe that means the standard is high and it's more competitive. But I think like there's a lot of like unforced errors this TI that I've seen, including from us. So.
Good heavens. Well, hopefully we won't see too many from your team today. And we're going to send it over the casters now. That's OD and Fog. Take it away, chaps.
Thank you very much, Ted. Yes, we're ready for this one. We can only imagine it to get better. And here, with this level of matchup between these two teams, we should be expecting some top-tier stuff, right?
Absolutely. I think the biggest question for me is really just going to be this Night Stalker. It really is a huge question mark. It's not been played much in pubs. It's gotten nerfed massively and stuff like that. Yes, it's going to give them this type of scouting mechanism for the Monkey King and a potential silence for this puck, which they pretty much had no good catch for this puck. But is he actually going to be able to get to that point and be able to do stuff? We'll have to see, because it does feel a little bit risky. The rest of the lineup, it's very oriented around buffing this Wind Ranger, making her be that absolute monstrosity, but I don't know, Night Stalker is definitely a tougher hero. We'll have to see how Ramses can make it work.
Well, that's it. How prepared do you think they were? Oh, there we go. First blood's going to end up down bottom.
Well.
Crit.
I'm very
proud. He's able
proud
to take out Whitemon. Got to keep our eyes on him. Crit on his hoodwink can bring out some pretty spicy stuff. He's off to a hot start down bottom.
Yeah. What were you going to ask? Sorry.
In terms of their draft and obviously how much Ramses was targeted in bans,
yes,
gets to the point where they're bringing out the Night Stalker for Ramses this game. If you're Tundra, do you think this was something you're prepared for? Do you think they've done games with Night Stalker behind scenes, or is this kind of like we got to pull something out that we, in most situations, haven't been forced to play? Like, are we seeing other teams heavily target Ramses as much as Falcons did today?
I haven't seen teams target him as much. I think they've gotten a lot of information just because of those dominant, like the Mars. I think he's been the one who popularized it the most. But I want to say this was like a, oh my goodness, we need something for this puck. Oh my God, what's left? Oh my God, we're out of time. But maybe it is something that he has played in a couple of his pub games and stuff like that to try it, but this hero is very tough to make work, so looking forward to see what he's going to do with it. And his lane, so far, versus the Monkey King, it's actually pretty decent.
See how that's able to continue. Look at this mid-lane matchup so far. On against the Boundless Striker Knee coming in. He's ticking down low, and Skeeter's able to reach in and get that final swipe to take him down. Trying to stand his ground against Ramses, but that's a little bit tougher right now, so we'll have to back away.
Level 3 is going to be much more difficult, I'd imagine, for the Night Stalker, because that level 2 Jingu that's going to be coming out, of course. But yeah, getting those 10-3 last hits, not too shabby. And mid, they wanted this puck versus Thompson. You see how much pressure you can apply versus this hero, the constant heal that you get now from phase shift. These players are abusing it to the maximum. You can do really cool tricks where you walk under tower, phase shift it to actually take 2 hits in a way, and you heal so much from the innate. It's pretty crazy what you can do on this hero.
And overall, do you like the approach from Tundra that seems very much to go all in on the Wind Ranger, right? They're going to have lots of buffs, lots of ways to really enable Pure as the game goes on. Is that something you're comfortable with, or do you feel that Falcons, they've got a few more options to take the game in different styles if things start to go a bit crazy?
My worry is that it's not a full 4 Protect 1, because they do have the NS and the Invoker that can kind of scale, but there's a Doom on the enemy lineup, there's a Bat Rider. These are the hard heroes that single target focus and just remove a hero from the game, right? And Doom dispels. So let's say you throw all these buffs onto this Wind Ranger and stuff, you can get rid of a decent amount of them. The ones that are dispellable, of course.
Pressure continuing in the mid here, but Thompson still holding his own very nicely. 13 for 5 against the 17 for 5. Thompson continuing to get very, very low, but keeping his cool. He's doing the math, knows that Maori doesn't quite have it in him to burst him as of yet.
Yeah, Ramses is actually continuing to do very well. I thought he would start to slow down a little bit in these next few waves, but he's able to get the Healing Lotus as well. Man, yeah, this mid lane, I don't think we can look away.
I mean, it's the classic, Thompson, as low as he is.
I'll keep tabs on the other ones, but my goodness, at any moment, Thompson.
Marin trying to go for it here. Thompson holding his ground, turning with a cold snap.
Another orb.
And Marin's going to be ready to go again in a second if he wants to. No, he's actually going to play it defensive and back off. Doesn't want to go for it. I mean, you can't take those risks. There's such a high chance if you're laning against Thompson and you go for a dive, it very easily could be turned upon yourself and you're going to end up being the one feeding under the tower.
Yeah, it's all about the stick bait play that they're trying to go for each other. I see Crit is starting to make his way over because they're playing so low, but there is a ward to scout him. So Thompson will be aware of this one. And he is getting that heal up. The 3rd point in Quas now. Each hit heals you, what, 18, I believe it is, or so. The sustain does come in quickly. leave him alone for even a couple seconds.
Yeah, and he's got the Tornado and the Cold Snap invoked, so ready with the defensive maneuvers if he does get dove upon.
Cool lane start. I feel we've been 90% staring at the mid lane, so looking at those side lanes, things are looking pretty good still for both sides.
Not quite able to get the
Nice quelling.
down to Pure indeed. Making sure that the bushwhack doesn't connect from Crit.
Daytime in 1 second, and they're going on Ramses immediately right before it.
With the Jingu building up, the Boundless coming in, a couple more hits. He's healing up Ramses, not enough though. Skeeter's able to dive under the tower, ready with the TP.
Malrine continues to get some stacks going for himself, while on the side of the Invoker, he can't really do that, so. Quick out here. Doing a bit of a beating here.
Pretty beefy now that he's got the double braces out.
Mari he just keeps mana burning him. This Wind Ranger is in a risky position, and if there's a rotation that comes out, not really much mana to work with, not much HP either. Now he's pinging him. We might see a game rotation. I think Snaking's gonna make the move down.
I think so. You know,
Yeah, he's coming.
pretty much completely out of mana on Pure, and he doesn't have any stick charges either. So
He knows this is coming though. This is a heads up read. Here,
decent knockback.
he's got the stick win run.
And indeed with the buff up from Whitemon, Pure's going to be a breakaway, get another win run off. Looks like Whitemon will pay for this though. The three of them collapsing upon him and take him down.
Very heads up moves.
And Thompson, he's thinking of making a move around here. So on his own into these three heroes, probably not somewhere that he wants to continue to head.
No, not very easy to go down there. And seeing the build, okay, so I was wondering what the itemization was going to be from Ramses. It might just be a phase auto blink up build, just because he needs to get on the puck. That could be pretty cool. Sentry's down, Thompson.
I wanted to stick around for the power in it, enters point at the top. Now the puck will kick off. Saxon Pure turn up to back him off. There'll be 3 call down on the 2 of them. But they'll stand their ground. Take down 1. Indeed, the 3-man pushback coming in will allow them to take out Thompson in return. Boundless strike down on a Pure, but the win run's there. Jump forward with the waning rip. Malrine continues to attempt to stay on top of Pure. Jump forward as well from Skeeter. Pure have another win run in a few seconds. Jump on from Whitemon holds them back. It's going to give Pure the space to back off.
Sacrifice.
And indeed, once again, Whitemon's going to be the one to die for that one. As Falcons, they'll pick up a 6th kill.
That's 3 now on Whitemon very early on. He's giving his life for Pure, which is all important, but even these kills does hurt. Amar, his level 6 now does have the Doom at the ready versus Pure, and they're stalking him. Skeeter still has full Jingu
They
stacks.
really want this Wind Ranger. And yeah, this time round, Pure unlikely to have much backup at all coming in.
They'll make him work for it at least a bit, but inevitable that he's going to get caught.
Skeeter, another kill to be found. Top lane, dive coming in from Ramses and Thompson. They'll be able to punish the fact that Snaking's been left on his own as pick up the XP on this lane. So some action to be found in return by Tundra.
A kill's a kill, but it is that 5 position, so, I mean, we do see Snaking, of course, die like that quite a bit. Tower is still pretty healthy. Are they going to look to set up for it? Trying to get as much damage as possible with Ramses' ult active. Alacrity's thrown out too. Yeah, they're bringing Doom. Whitemon, careful.
Starting a little bit low. Margin's able to drop down the Doom, but the Ghost Wall was immediately there. The Invis up should be able to sneak away and no follow-up damage, so Thompson will survive.
That was very quick fingers there from him.
Immediately getting a Ghost Walk off.
But the lanes are, after already these lanes, ways to address this Wind Ranger in this game. The Doom, the Lasso. Doom in particular is always going to be good because it's got that basic dispel, removes Wind Run, removes any buffs, gets the catch onto her, so yeah, Pure has to be a little bit more careful with positioning.
Looking to enter into the ancient area. He's got eyes on Amar. Nice support from Zaxa.
The Starstorm actually misses because of the tornado.
Indeed, the spell wasn't quite there in sync with one another perfectly. They'll still get the kill, but this has given time for Falcons to respond. Dropped down the Windmon's command. Thompson's able to get out of range of it.
Pure.
He can catch him with the bushwhack and the sharp shot coming in the dream cover as well. They've got the lockdown. Whitemon's going to try and jump in to have the control and take out the boat, but they can't throw it. Malrine's perfectly fine. Jumps back up. They've killed off Whitemon. Pure will manage to escape this again somehow.
Okay.
I mean, Whitemon doing his best every single time to bail Pure out, and it's working.
I'm surprised neither of those two cores
I thought they were going to have him.
Either Pure or Thompson to be
Five of
taken
them now
out
looking
there.
around this tier 1 in the mid lane, Tundra.
Have to use the nighttime to its utmost advantage.
They're ready to dive. Falcons, they're playing cautious.
Checking the rune. Snaking, stacking.
Snaking, some quick flame break. The cold snap tornado combo setups there. They'll catch Snaking.
Dire's middle tower is under
True
attack.
name of
With that, continue this push in the mid.
Should have this tower finished off. Hey, it's a five. This time it's a 5-position kill, but it's a good one because it's going to lead them directly into this tower as well.
Dire's middle tower.
And yeah, we're seeing the Mage Slayer build that we've seen Thompson do a couple times already be queued up. Besides that, nothing else too different. Amar has got a bit of a different build with his phase drum. This is not what we've seen every time. Thompson.
And he goes straight for the setup. He does have the back of Amar. Great, they'll get the Doom Link down onto Thompson. Not back to the play break as well. They'll be able to bring in the damage to take down the Invoker. Crit. They'll get caught inside by Ramses. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Make that into a 2-for-1 with Saxa getting locked down. Falcons, they're ready to try and chase on for more. They've got eyes on Ramses. Just see if Ramses is able to get far enough away to get a chance to blink out. He's pretty speedy.
He looks okay.
And indeed, with the blink back up and available, they cannot continue to chase him. So Ramses escapes. But Falcons making a good jump there. No hesitation from Mallory as he immediately drops that Dream Coil down onto Thompson.
Yeah, a good flank there from Amar, just gets right behind him. Yeah, like I was saying, different items coming out from this Doom that I've seen in majority of the games. This is just early onset aggression that they want to be able to match Tundra's tempo. Because it is a fast-paced draft from Tundra, which is, I would say, not really that cooldown reliant, right? It's the Night Stalker who plays a little bit around that and the nighttime. So Tundra can play fast, and I think Falcons is trying to be able to respond to that at all times with this Doom build.
For Gurban's a bit of a bait. Ramses and Saxa, they're ready with a surprise jump straight over the walls of the Hoodwing. And with Whitemon as well to be able to completely control and take down Crit. And maybe look for more. Snaking.
Got the numbers here.
He's going to get focused first. Now they want to turn towards the biggie kill. They want to try and find Skeeter, but Skeeter's... Falcons, they're ready to pound. Smoke
Daytime.
from the 4 of them.
Yeah, they want to make as many moves as possible. And Skeeter actually bought his shard, so something interesting to point out as well. Not something you see too often on these MKs. He was about to have Echo, and he just bought shard
Thompson
instead.
getting some good info, though. He knows that they're around here. Yeah, I'll throw the tip
You
out the
weren't so
way of
damn
Amar.
dead, I'd
Nice
shoot you
done from
again.
Thompson. This is just such a good quality of life thing that I think any Invoker player has just been dying for. Being able to cast spells or invoke and use your orbs when you're inside of this Ghost Walk just adds so many more different possibilities for the Invoker.
Hard to get the jump on Falcons, though. They're set up
Yep.
very defensively.
I think I'm going to be checking also on Falcons is how many Force Staffs are they going to be getting, because it's the kind of answer to protect the puck versus the Night Stalker. I actually see Malrina's queued up a Force Staff even. So definitely going to look to have some answers versus that Night Stalker silence.
How much they want to drop for anything at all, they will with the lasso.
And yeah, we saw yesterday Miposhka playing this 5 Bat Rider, and he wanted the solar. I think Snaking is identifying, yeah, the blink is that important to get. You know, we had talked about the lack of initiations from Spirit's draft in that game. Snaking rushed it, so let's get at least a blink lasso there from it, even if it's just some.
A few moments now where Tundra haven't really been able to find the fight that it seems that they're hungry for. Falcons staying ahead. Get the setup on the Mallory and put the tornado. MP as well, but patience there. To stop the MP, jump out with the waning grip. He should be able to get away, no problem. In fact, Snake keeps jumping in to get a dream card down. The power strike out of the 2 of them. They're taking out Whitemon. Kieran Thompson trying to hold their
Big damage to Skinner.
they want to try and focus down the monkey kick, and they'll be able to do so. Pure takes him out, but now Amar comes in with the Doom straight on him. Ramses has made the jump on Mallory, and Amar should be able to finish off Pure. As Pure ticks down very, very left. Is Pure going to survive? Oh, the final
so
tick of the
close.
Doom does kill him, but Tundra finally able to find a successful fight back against Falcons, in which they take out the
They're
3
gonna get more.
and indeed maybe Amar as well. Ramses and Thompson with the chase down, they've got the control. Toe strikes off Amar, but Amar very little way out of this one, as cleaning them all up.
And interesting how they started it too. It was kind of like, there's no way they killed this puck on the initial go. They need Ramses to kill the puck, right? So they make this kind of weird tornado play, but it baits Falcons to overextend onto that high ground. Oh, and then they get caught afterwards.
Back in action. Falcons, they're looking for some revenge. They'll get Ramses. Straight out on the map, they'll take the Night Stalker down. Tundra, they've got to hide. Whitemon, they are aware that he's around. Snaking definitely notices that something's up around here.
Daytime, so they're trying to make these plays as well. So yeah, Whitemon. Oh, the turn on
Snake is. And the lasso is there. Snake's going to be able to lock him down, drag him over towards Amar. Falcons claim a couple of kills in return. Let's Whitemon can get the deny. He's going to try for it. No, but no, Amar's got it. Another kill for Amar.
but chasing supports and stuff like that, right? Any extra bit of time that you're buying for
Falcons. They're ready to go again. They've got their ults. They're ready to look for some action.
And this is cool because it's nighttime, right? So they're making the call that even into night, with these new items they've gotten, they're confident to fight.
It's a good time to go. Not indeed on paper, the threat of fighting into night is there, but it's the fact that Tundra, they may be feeling comfortable. They're like, they're not going to go for us. It's nighttime. But surprise, they are. They'll find Whitemon.
They will use the last of the shackle connection too.
Yeah, maybe Tundra can do something in return. If Pierre's going to try and step up with the moment, but Amar just turns around and slams down the view on him. So Pierre's going to be a bit careful how he approaches this fight. Thompson poking him from the side, trying to bring down Crit on the Hope Wink, and he'll get him. Hope Wink to fall. Dive forward as well as Saxa leaps in with the right clicks towards Amar, but Amar's too speedy with his phase drops. He's able to safely disengage. Same to be said for the rest of Falcons by looks of it. They'll track back Mallory in. Saxa trying to finish him off, but Saxa won't be able to finish the job as he gets taken down.
Pure?
Skeeter's ready to go back.
So low.
Pure tried to push up as low as he was after the Doom had come to an end. Skeeter standing his ground. He builds up the Jingu. The tornado is there. He's not going to be able to continue the life steal as they take Skeeter out. Amar's getting chased down by Ramses. A runaway here. The final moments of the pig pole. Getting so fast that they have to blink. Ramses able to jump back in, get the setup for Whitemon. It's a double kill for Ramses. Falcons, they may have come looking for that fight, but it's Tundra that take it.
What a fight. Thompson just stood his ground. I think he casted like 14 different spells or something inside this.
That's a lot of damage there coming out from him.
I believe right before Ramses even had the BKB, I think he got it at the tail end of the fight. I believe Whitemon actually delivered it to him. If I saw it correctly.
Whitemon's trying to jump out of this one. He'll get on the Wukong's command, but the pushback from Crit connects. Sharpshooter did get blocked by Pure. Pure comes in with the save to make sure Whitemon doesn't get sniped. Thompson can get something in return here. Ramses also ready to jump. But the BKB ready once again. See how aggressive they want to go with this one, Tundra. Ramses leading the way. Falcons on the retreat.
Giving them all this information, that vision.
Who does he want to go for, Ramses? It's a bit too deep of a dive right now, getting this far onto Falcon's side of the map. So they'll hold back Tundra.
Wow, yeah. So I actually think I caught a couple extra things in that replay. I don't know if he bought the gem in that last fight during the respawn from Whitemon, but I think he delivered Ramses' BKB during the respawn. So that was kind of cool little play that they communicated there.
They're going to keep going with this smoke.
Still have nighttime for a little bit longer.
Falcons should be pretty aware that this is coming for them. They're hiding under the tier 2.
Amar has a Crimson, but it is dispellable from tornadoes.
Thompson trying to start the action off over with Crit. Amar's ready to head in, but straight away inside, so Amar's not able to get the immediate doom off. Been taken down to half HP. The sharpshooter comes in, but Tundra, they're able to safely back off. Falcon, they'll jump and get the lasso connection in onto the wall. Thompson found this as well. This time they're bursting him low, able to target the tornado off, but he won't survive. Thompson falls. Falcons now have the opening to chase potentially for more, but Pure and Ramses, they're fast. A little too fast for Falcons to catch up with, unless Pure sticks around a bit too long. Boundless is there. With the shard, Skeeter able to close in. Crit's watching for the high ground, but the BKB's out.
He's got a TP.
Got the TP with the last moments there. It's not going to be anything to stop it, so Pure will make it back safely.
I think that one they identified as
trusting him, obviously, as we saw in Ramses, to back him up with that AoE silence, as you say, but as it was, not enough to get him out of there. They split up, they back off, and Thompson gets left behind.
These fights are going to get... Oh, man, there's a lot of elements into it, 2Vs now. We say that
I mean, it's important. They're trying to fight back at Saxa and Whitemon. Saxa's caught by the Dream Coil. They'll finally fall. The two of them are gone. Sharpshooter's not going to connect onto Ramses. Ramses does have the BKB as well ready if he feels pressured. He's going to continue to hide along the tree line.
He has to stay alive. This gem is all important for their team.
I mean, this is such a scary part of the map for him. As I say, does have BKB, blink up, and in fact, yeah, he's going to make sure he continues to play the distance against them, trying to keep some sort of information available for the team, but cannot afford to reveal himself. So Falcons, they're going to get the chance to push in onto the tier 2 bottom.
And Ascension was used, and it's about to be like that long daytime for a bit here. So 90, about 100 seconds before the next one. Pure.
Towards him. Again, his BKB is at the ready. To pop in and run. The Doom is there. He's going to go straight away with the TP. Do they have the damage to bring him down through it? They don't. He'll get back to the fountain. And the Infernal Blade damage in the Doom. It's going to be...
He's going down, it looks like.
Nah, he's living.
Nah.
He's living.
Oh, 3 HP!
It's good. Wait, it wasn't 3, like 30.
It was 3.
He's taking this out. Probably Pure, right? I feel like he's a bit more vulnerable than Thompson at this point.
That's actually good. Probably Pure.
Yeah, I think you get it. Yeah, Pure's going to take this one.
And we're seeing it. I was
Wondering,
wondering,
Thompson's already ready with the setup mid. He's TP'd up. value, damage for value. It's one of the best times of the game.
Sure.
And of course, it is great on the Monkey King with the Boundless.
And on the Wukongs, of course.
But you got to find those kills. You know, you pick this item up, you get it to go and kill everyone. If you don't kill everyone, you're going to feel a little bit sad. Falcons is get up, they're ready to go. It's a good grab.
That's the Aegis.
They get the opening, but attention, when they give it up, they weren't able to get the follow change them so good. He's got
setting.
BKB and back off on reset.
But that is a BKB, so
It is, but I think at the least, as you say, I think they were hoping to get the Aegis.
I think so too.
They didn't get it. He's able to keep it safe, and he's still got many minutes to play with it. Towards the bottom with that tower gold as well. That is the nullifier completed for Ramses. So if they want to try and push it to the high ground. Still 2 minutes left on the Aegis. They can definitely try and force a reaction from Falcons.
Let's feel like they're getting a bit of momentum here. Just have to be a bit careful going into these high grounds sometimes versus this lasso. So much they respect it. You see Amar, he's got a fresh
Yeah. Got the shackle. It's not a bad opening there. I mean, he's put on mana and he's turning up with the whirlwind, trying to dive forward. He gets held back by the Boundless. Bushwhack as well to hold him back.
A lot of damage getting blocked there from Liquid. They were trying to, I mean, either trying to kill him or trying to force the BKB from Amar, but Amar, a bit too tanky, can't hold on to that BKB.
To start the action again themselves. You know, Mar, of course, still incredibly strong to present on the front line.
They just need to get vision down, though, is the problem. They're playing versus a Night Stalker with gems, so this is the one ward that they can play around right now, and they're going to try to make a play around it, it does look like. Lincoln's thrown on Ramses.
And it's around this Wisdom Rune timing as well, which Tundra, of course, are in the favored position to set up and control.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Yeah, he's checking for the ward. Quite sacrifices his courier for it.
I mean, do they try and force a fight around this Wisdom Rune, or do they just let this go? And like, how do you start some action here as Falcons?
See if you can get one of those big lassos on a corner.
Tops it.
Got the last one on a corner. He put the Lincolns on it.
It was a deep throw down, and Thompson had able to save himself on the two. And now they can look for the kills themselves, and they run down three of them. A buyback comes out from Chris. Ramsey's ready to dive the high ground. Shackle shots there. Immediate response from Tundra.
Instant Lincoln. You didn't even see it.
It was absolute. It's so quick.
And look at that immediate with the ult.
They're going to get so much from it.
I think they can look to end it. They have the whirlwind. They can hit these
There's
tier
4
fours.
heroes dead, no buyback.
Oh, what a fight.
Look at that.
All it takes is one.
It really does. I think that's going to be it. That Lincoln's play, it really just drew a massive spanner in the works there from Barrett. I mean, without that,
They're ending. They're absolutely ending.
and they're going to be able to. First tier 4's gone, second tier 4's going down as well. The Ancient's going to be exposed. They've done it. A close game, but up until the ending moments, Tundra, with that Aegis, with the control that they got, it's giving no chance for Falcon to fight back. It's over. GG is called. Tundra.
Wow.
What a way to close that one up, folks.
Yeah, just patience, right? And just, even though they get, even though they get the initial jump onto the Invoker, man, that Link.
Moon was it? Good to have some banter. I mean, these are teams, right? There's banter between the players, and now we're getting banter between the coaches.
Mundane and boring.
Damn.
We didn't even flame him. I was just saying, like, yeah, you can be a little bit emotional. So I love it. Oh, man, okay. So this one, and we're up to a pretty interesting way that the draft's kind of kicked off, because I think this is one of the first games where one of the first drafts where I've seen 3 cores picked up initially.
Okay.
Right? Tundra, they picked all 3 of their cores.
And, as you were saying, like,
30 seconds
giving
to
away
battle.
first pick and Radiant.
Yeah, they gave away first pick Radiant, which I don't have the exact stats on it also, but I believe yesterday when I checked, it was like a 70% win rate or something like that too. So definitely something different that we're seeing coming out for them, but a very, very strong heroes. Some lack of initiation perhaps coming into their draft in some points in this game, which I've seen sometimes with these Kunkas as game progressed, but yeah, this looks like it could be pretty interesting.
Okay. Yeah, some of these heroes in particular, we've got to see how they play out. We're getting like the Elder Titan coming out on the side of Tundra, and yeah, snaking Aura.
Yep. No, it should be fine.
Not going to get anything out.
Lock out these dispels as well too, but in particular, just the Fate's Edict. It's really strong versus a lot of these magic damage heroes. In particular, Kunkka. Kunkka throws his combo, you throw Fate's Edict, it blocks the mode, it blocks the torrent, it blocks a significant amount, so we'll see how much that pertains, because that was kind of like an old school counter in a way that people used to do, so let's see if the time still exists that way. The Falcons was able to counterpick pretty heavily inside this game. See what ends up going down because
See if Thompson can have another crazy performance on the Invoker. Did very well in that last game.
he was honestly quite a nuisance. He's not gonna have that amp up, of course, of like solar flare and stuff like that, where he could be that extra right-clicking beast, but we shall see what he can do.
And how should this lane be for him? Pango versus the Invoker.
Recently, I feel like I've been seeing a little bit of differences. I feel like it can be a little bit more even nowadays, but it depends because it's just the sustain war that comes out from the Quas, and then the runes are going to be in particular, so it's tough to say really for this one.
And how strong is this top lane? So ET backing up the Luna here in the safe lane as a support duo. Are these two getting chances to get aggressive on the Doom?
You can at times, but I feel like we've seen a lot of these teams just be really good at being able to at least protect the Doom. Even if Doom's not winning so much, the lane actually does look pretty good in most situations, so we'll be able to.
You see there, win after win from Thompson on his Invoker so far.
I mean, Moon said it, right? We got the Invoker, so we're very, very happy.
Indeed, if that, you go back to the point, if that win rate continues to go that way, and if Thompson's able to make the win happen here, teams might have to start considering an early ban on it against Tundra.
Let's be honest, Thompson won TI because of Invoker, like his first one especially, so it is definitely going to be something that teams have to always think about. We'll see how that top lane. I'm curious about how that one is. Yeah, because you can at least do the you lift them, throw them back, and kind of reset to be able to get positioning. So mid's kind of the one that I'm just just like last game, where I think most people are just staring at this mid matchup because these two just love to push the limits of their heroes. Who ends up getting that Lotus? Let's see, actually. Rubik was it to get that one. Okay, what is that one?
Beautiful art there.
Oh, so I guess this is reminiscent of Thompson's first TI win also, where he's just dropping stickers on people's faces on the on the lane. Not very funny, but mid lane so far pretty much dead even.
It's really close.
Yeah. So let's go matchup. Thompson, of course, he's denied. While we talked about the
top lane.
Minus top, they actually get.
Wow, so
Rest
close
on
to bringing Pure down, but Whitemon coming in with a lovely stomp to hold back Amar and Crit.
Not a bit surprising there. They hit the level 3 first on the Doom, so they had that big explosive damage initially, it looked like. They didn't even put a point in yet, so maybe it wasn't just an opportune hit that they found up here.
Dodging for Whitemon.
Still not 3.
I think he's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, Whitemon underestimating the potential there from Amar and Crit to just dive in and go for the kill. They get first play for Amar.
Very nicely played, exactly when they need to. These first 2 levels are crucial for them to apply that pressure, and they do so. Very nicely done from the 2 of them here. Amar, of course, getting that kill, so he's going to have boots and a chainmail coming out here too, which could even change the outcome of that lane even more. So very nice from Falcons there.
I mean, we saw last game as well, despite the loss, Amar and his Doom had a pretty fantastic time in the early parts and got this incredible amount of farm.
Yep.
Do you imagine he's going to go for a similar build this game, go for that bass drum Shivas once more?
That's actually a good question. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because it was a very different approach last time. I think so, just because we've seen Tundra play very fast. He'll probably look for something fast-paced. Maybe not drum, but we'll see. How's his bottom lane overall doing?
Sanctuary and Snake trying to go for one another, but neither quite able to finish off the job.
So one other thing that was
Raise a
actually
match up against the Luna, with Luna being as strong as it is.
That's a good question. Luna now fights very early, so I think Skeeter definitely could fall into some issues where if he charges in with some Link, you get turned on from an Eclipse, so yeah, could be.
Now you can
some
get
fast tempo.
I feel like the Razor can get burst. It's going to be a lot of it down to Snaking coming in with clutch saves.
Absolutely. Snake is definitely going to be one of the most important ones that we look at in majority of this game. The move's coming from Malmarine first, a quick TP bottom.
So if they can catch Ramses, they can't.
They can't.
Not quite in range of the plasma field there, able to avoid the slow, and ends up meaning that this move from Malmarine's not going to result in much at all.
He's got phase boots and windlays. Yeah, that's massive. Gonna be getting level 6 also soon on Ramses. That's a very, very good start with the lane that he's been. And they read the first movement, so Malmarine's first move doesn't hit.
A slower start. This time around 7.5 minutes. Just the one kill the Falcons have found. Maybe Tundra can find something here. They'll try for Snaking, but I'm going to sneak around the Brambles. Skeeter in return. Stellar link onto Ramses, but Thompson coming in with the rotation, and Skeeter's pretty low underneath the tower. In with the cold snap, they're ready to dive this. I don't think there's going to be anything that Snaking can do at this point to save his carrier. Skeeter will fall.
And there's 5 heroes down here for Tundra.
They're going to get Snaking as well. Snaking completely surrounded. They come in with this rotation, Tundra. Double kill for Thompson. An incredibly successful movement towards the bottom lane.
Oh, and Thompson tips Malrine. You know, Malrine makes the move bottom. It's not successful. Thompson makes the move bottom. It's double successful.
Absolutely. Now they can get the pressure onto this tower. Very, very good first move here from Thompson.
They have again, a very, very fast-paced lineup that Tundra's gone for. This time maybe a little bit more cooldown reliant in some situations, but overall, very strong, and they're still sticking down bottom. Snaking and Skeeter are coming back, but Thompson's still here.
Thompson's looking for the angle. He's never getting the enemy down in between the two of them. As most of the mana of Skeeter gone. Further TPs, they need to come in from Falcons. They cannot allow Tundra to get away with this again. Murray turns up. Thompson, he's already out. He's able to TP away. Again, Tundra definitely having a bit better of control of the early game.
Thompson just constantly ghost walking around. He might get caught mid. They see him for a second. It's out of sentry range.
Stops to hold back Amar. Falcon's not going to be finding anything here either.
Are fortified.
He knew that they had like a sentry for a second there. He literally stepped right outside the range of it for a quick second there. Could have maybe got lifted and doomed and stuff, but so far, been dancing around them again, just like that last game. Here.
Stomp is going to connect onto the two of them. They might be able to do something with this. Thompson's coming in from the side. Amar, he's in trouble. He's going to get taken down.
He sure is. And Pierre's actually got the farming build, by the way. He actually only put 2 points in beam. He put 4 in the glaives, which we haven't seen too much, but still, he's getting involved.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Top lane,
Look at
Mallory
him.
finally able to find something with his movements, but it is just the support, just Saksha on the Willow.
They're losing potentially their mid. They have to make the rotation over, it feels like. You don't want to sack your mid tower this early.
I mean, with this shield room, Pure not too scared at all about standing his ground and pushing on to try and find this early tier one. They get the stomp connection onto Snaking. They'll just focus the objective though. Snaking tries to step up, has to be careful. Pure's able to get the last touch on the tower.
I agree, honestly. It feels kind of sad to have to do so, but there's so much explosive burst that comes out from Tundra, even with an Oracle on his team. I don't know, that feels kind of grim to have to do so.
It's going to take some pretty crazy moves from Falcons, right, to be able to enable the Razor and keep Skeeter in the game. Because if it starts to get passive, right, this Luna is just going to completely outfarm the Razor.
He's right on top of Skeeter.
Set up the Skeeter coming in as well. Skeeter is able to get out to the side. The stomp comes in, the mass TPs will be there. So they won't have the burst to take down Skeeter. Falcons, they're going to look to try and find kills in return. Thompson, go for the TP out. Is there anything to stop it? There isn't. Thompson's away.
Goodness. He doesn't even TP to base, he TPs to the tier 2, so he can actually ghost walk and continue to look to be aggressive on the map. Thompson, he's just being such a nuisance. He's even going to take away the rune.
TPs are coming in, they want to try and take Snaking down. Sunstrike's coming in. Snaking in a lot of trouble as Ramses has got the control. With the X mark into the torrent. They'll slowly but surely take Snaking down and get another kill for Thompson. Dominating
that farm speed of Tundra.
I feel like Tundra's going to be aware that this is coming for them.
And look at the bottom lane. It's it's super pushed in, so they might have the information here.
They need a core kill. Finding a support is not going to feel good here for Falcons. They've got to find something big.
I mean, Pure hits the Ancient once and then backs away. It's like he knew this was coming completely. Look at the lines drawn.
They really are a step ahead in this game. It really does feel like they've read the entire sort of plan book from Falcons. They know exactly what Falcons are going to try and do this game.
Hey, look at Saksa is still bottom hitting these creeps. He's clearing these creep waves at a tier 2, so that's giving massive amounts of information. They're like, Falcons is looking to make a move, and it ain't on me bottom. Thompson. See Amar.
Oh, Amar. They might find a chance for a quick kill on Whitemon. Yeah, he'll happily drop down the Doom for this. Especially if Thompson wants to try and do something in return. He's TPing. Space to allow him to TP out. I think Thompson's just done it. Able to make sure that not even Whitemon goes down here.
And that's a big cooldown use. Now Tundra can actually look to fight back with some opportunities.
Here we go.
Tundra now, Ramses, he's got his Aghanims also done. So an extra layer they're going to have to go through in these fights too.
Got the shard on Whitemon now as well.
Okay, let's see what they can find.
They need to get something here, Falcons. Every smoke so far hasn't been a success. See if things change up now, but Tundra, they're prepared to tier 1 Mallory. He's going to go straight for it. He's able to roll with Thunder. Doesn't get the initial connection though. He's going to go pretty deep in this. Huge. The tornado's there. He's able to hold them back. Whitemon perfectly fine. He's able to turn with the stomp. Seems straight away on towards the Razor. Holding back with the fear as well. Saxton will land in with the false promise. Comes out for Snaking. They're going to try and do their best to keep Skeeter safe. He's still got the BKB if he feels pressured. So their Falcons at least they're able to back off. They don't lose anyone for that. But of course they don't find anything either.
They find absolutely nothing. And now Tundra still is poised around bottom to potentially look at that Roche. There's no Rolling Thunder.
That's
I
right.
think
They could go for it into the pit. Absolutely.
Oh man, that was really nice little side steps there from Whitemon, but either way, it felt like a very forced situation. Like Falcon said, we have to get something.
Whitemon sending it through, getting that some of those buffs as it sweeps across the map.
All right, Malrine does have a pipe, so he is kind of playing that like off lane from the mid lane. He's trying to find some ways to protect, but there's so much hybrid damage as we were mentioning.
Thompson, seeing what he can poke out of there. Got the X mark as well onto Malrine. He's pretty talented with the pipe. There isn't a false promise available though, still on cooldown. Pure, he's ready to lead him with force damage from the whole back 10 pieces. Doom drop down on towards the Conquer. He's able to back out of the fight round. They've just got to run. Malrine had to get false promise there. One snake, he's going to turn towards Ramsey, desperately trying to finish up the job.
This is awkward.
They're split. They've been completely split up.
Skeeter
lose Whitemon.
Skeeter's BKB is gone.
Saxon ready to turn towards him. Pure and Thompson, they're ready to start chasing over as well. He just got the backup of Crit and snaking in. Pure falling low, jump ball from Amar. He's everything jumping on the two of them. They're going to try to kill Thompson and then manage to take the Aegis out of the hands of Pure. They can get him out on the second line. Pure. They're not Pure. Potentially come down from Saxon, try and send back Skeeter. No, it doesn't actually catch Skeeter. Skeeter's able to move forward, stay over towards Pure. Pure's got the Hurricane Pike at the ready, so we'll be able to force down to the low ground, get away from them. But not a bad hit at all there from Falcons. They're able to find the fight into the Aegis of Tundra. Continue to chase forward, see if he can find a chance to set up on him.
And I will point to we do have more downtime too, something interesting. Actually, Ramsey's never mind, get it going on.
So he's going to put the BKB to continue to commit for this. He's going pretty deep, Skeeter.
He's very deep.
Very deep.
Very, very deep.
Very, very, very deep. And he gets a second hill. I think that's at least a tip or a question mark. That was...
I'm just looking at the player cameras. I want to see how anybody reacts off of this.
There was no one near him on Falcons. That's got to be the rest of the team looking at Skeeter and being like, bro, what are you doing?
Ramsey's just like, Ramsey's like, what? He actually did that. he just ran at me.
He just went for it.
All right, well, a bit interesting.
I don't know if you could be doing that.
Oh, it's definitely weird.
That's a rough one.
It's 45 seconds without the Razor, and Pure now has level 20, so they could look to fight themselves here. Amar looking for a catch.
Oh, that was a very quick blink in return.
They found snaking in the back.
They're going to try and get rid of him very quickly. He's having to Thomas himself. Will be able to save himself for now. Malrine into the Rolling Thunder controlling Thompson. But this fight 20 seconds still. No Skeeter. They'll be able to force Thompson back to the side. They're going to be able to save it. Saxon tries to set up the cursed ground. It's immediately removed. I mean, that was risky there. I mean, sure they don't case of tunnel vision from Skeeter. I mean, he got the kill.
I can't believe he gets him. That's the craziest part.
But, yeah, I don't think it could be an that sort of move again. I mean, yeah, no miles for Ramsey on that one. Now back in the mid. Now Push is coming in.
Ramsey's
Up to the high ground.
side grab, he couldn't quite get it. Skeeter charging forward.
Now this time he's got the team
He
behind
does.
him.
But they don't have the Doom and they don't have the roll just yet, so he's really just trying to... And they see that nullifier too, I believe. If they were clicking, which I believe one of the supports, I'd imagine Whitemon.
I think so. These guys are professional. Yeah. Successful link in the team fight and actually build up the damage. That's going to cause huge problems for Falcons.
Sure. You see, Malrine's been hiding the nullifier on the courier the entire time. That word, it saw it in pretty much the entirety as Pure, forcing the issue. Blitz's been popped.
They're definitely set up to be able to take quite a lot here, Tundra. With this Aegis push, Falcons, what have they got?
Malrine, oh my goodness. Now as soon as that tower drops, these blades are going to start hurting.
They can keep doing this X-Mark push between sort of the X-Mark and the Lotus availability from Ramses.
So what we've seen from some people is they buy the Yules to stop this, right? So could see that maybe come out from the Yules to stop the annoying poke that comes from this X combo. I see already Crit's got it queued up, but I know that you can just buy it on the Doom, use it, sell an item, blah, blah, blah. You can do all this kind of cool stuff. I believe it was 33 who I saw do that the other day. But Tundra, they're happy with forcing everybody back for the moment. They do have a big wave up top that they do have to address. Maybe they X somebody and kill that wave and then bring it back.
Yeah, they know the wrap. If they wait for the fight to happen on the high ground, their barracks are probably falling anyway. So if they want to try and take things to their advantage, they've got to get out on the map and catch Tundra by surprise.
The whole other side though, Tundra is smoked up.
They're very split up here. I mean, he's caught by the torrent. Get the BKB off. Wolf's down standing over the Is he going to be able to survive? He's healing up. He's so died. The false promise will save him for now. But I don't think this is the way the Falcons wanted to start this fight off. As Tundra, they're going to be able to run down Amar.
Oh, that was awkward, and
Yeah.
they used everything there.
The Doom will end up killing off Ramses at least as well. So if they get a couple of them, this may be enough to slow down and stop the push from now from Tundra. But that was a risky way to start things off. They try for this wrap around the split up, but it does mean that Skeeter gets left very vulnerable. Skeeter lucky to get out alive out of that one.
I mean, pushing the limits again, right? The Satanic plus the Paladin sword heal, just with the Snaking able to get the reset onto him. Saksa is doing some cool stuff. He is blinking it past the team fight to try to find Snaking and stop these bomb boxes. Pretty crazy.
Trying to see if he could get a little bit of a setup onto Skeeter there.
I'm surprised how confident backline terrorizes to stop Snaking from getting these saves onto Skitter. So have to keep tabs of that one.
Still a minute left on this Aegis, so Tundra, they can definitely look to push once more. 5 seconds until the BKB's back up from Skeeter, so he'll have that ready.
Doom is back at the ready in 4 seconds, that offering that Amar has.
It's pretty much what he had there. Nearly the full butterfly coming out there for Pure.
Oh, wow. 60 seconds. They still have their banner as well. So you gotta use it for these catapults?
They're going to try to set up onto Skeeter. Again, he's got the back of the snake, but the BKB is got a full promise to the ready, so multiple
Snake
ways.
stopped in the back line. Are they gonna go for anything with it?
Pure running pretty low, but that full butterfly is going to be out towards him. Tornado in on towards. There's going to be the wraparound from the side. Amar and Mallory ready to jump forward. They're looking towards Ramses. They'll lay down the Doom onto the Klunker. They're on him out of the fight. They've been able to take the Aegis out of the hands of Pure. Falcon's going to take him down a second time. Skeeter in position, get the link going. But Thompson's on top of him. The false promise gets laid down on the Skeeter. Pure he's on for the TP out, and he'll get away back to safety. See if Thompson's having to move away as well. He's on the retreat. Skeeter's trying to do his best to chase, but under the cover of the Ghost Walk. Thompson.
There's a dust. Is he gonna get in range?
Oh, he is. He's able to find him, but quick moves again. Thompson turns with the tornado, forces away the hurricane pipe, lays down the wall of ice, and Thompson will survive. So they get out of there. The only casualty being Ramses.
41 minutes in.
I mean, he needs that serious amount of damage so he can just focus and take Skeeter out before the link builds up, before the heals start getting pumped up. They've got to kill Skeeter off quickly, and at the moment it's not easy. Now BKB Manta Satanic and 2 rounds of those with a refresher. Skeeter very hard to kill.
And we have not, honestly, Ramses' is Lotus. Yeah, I don't think he's gotten a single spell that he's really Lotus. I haven't seen a static link Lotus, a Doom Lotus, almost anything. Smoke now, Tundra, looking to strike. There is a ward here that was placed earlier from Falcons.
This is a good spot for Falcons to fight in.
Pure spent his gold, so he is in.
Gets the jump on who so far Amar has been king of starting the fights.
Pure also did get that Trickster cloak, so quite a bit of evasion. Amar been spotted first.
Gonna try and go in onto the Doom. Amar back away from the BKB, Skeeter charges forward, but he's held back by the tornado. Open out with Falcons, Marion popped along the thunder. BKB had to come out early from Skeeter. They could work this out and they go to fight afterwards. They could cause trouble. They're going to go to Arguably Samson caught by the side, taken out. Amar, he found his target. He found Thompson, brings him down. Skeeter with the second BKB. He's ready to go for the and the second trouble. Manifold's out the side. He's going to attempt to TP out the end of the BKB. He'll get away from this. The Falcons, they get their 2 kills.
Amar just keeps finding a target. Tundra, Pure, you're very far, but as you said, Ramses has fallen off massively. Smoker as well, too, Thompson. Super impressive.
We'll get for the smoke, but Roshan already taken. Aegis into the hands of Skeeter, and then, yeah, we see here, the fight starts awkwardly for Falcons, of course. The BKBs have to come out very early from Amar and Skeeter. But Skeeter able to back off. I think we'll see, Samson jumps in, yeah, immediately gets hit by the silence of the Mindbreaker from Skeeter.
I didn't even see that either. You see what Amar did there? Thompson ran in to hit him to stop his blink, and Amar, as the projectile's about to hit him, blinks over it and gets the Doom onto Thompson. So, yeah, Vision, I mean, we talk about it a lot, how all important it is in these fights, and that one, it was super important for them to get these kind of moves. Now Amar, though, is quite isolated.
He's very isolated. They've got the BKB back up.
There's a splitter, though, so can't really just TP out.
They have TP backup coming in. It's a great tornado. Thompson catching up with the dark. safe and get away, won't get dragged back by that.
Did he?
Both games, Amar giving us some fantastic stuff on the Doom.
Yeah, this is some unbelievable stuff. Skeeter now with an AC. He still takes a ton of damage from these beams.
Gonna get forced in. He's over that Ramses.
Hey, Skeeter, he actually has to pop the Satanic to kind of back away. He's kind of low HP. He's got the heals.
He's in trouble, he's gone.
He's got by.
So, force ground onto Skeeter. See if they're able to force out the buyback here. Falcons, they're definitely going to want to stick around and try and get this response out.
Skeeter.
A lot of burst to put the refresher.
He's gone. There's no man on staking.
There wasn't, he didn't have enough for false promise. He has now, but he didn't at the time. He couldn't save him.
Pure doesn't have to buy back now, and Razor's dead for 90 seconds.
Is
BTPs.
under attack.
If it's on other targets, not the doomed ones. Setting up top, they do see Amar for a second here. This is a dangerous position, maybe.
It's a difficult hero to kill.
Snaking's always behind him, too, it feels like. They really want to try for it.
Might at least get the BKB out from him. No, well, about Amar, he pops the BKB, starts charging straight back.
He's got his
the
teeth.
Lincolns and Lotus is everything being thrown down on a Pure to stop Amar from being able to find a chance to go back in. But Amar just ends up scaring them away there, just runs straight at them.
And Falcons, they're the ones now that are smoked up to perhaps look for the rego themselves. A Wind Waker also now has been picked up on crit, so many different ways of saving and bailing their teammates out. These moments are tense. It's pretty absurd to me, Owen, that this game has kind of not really ticked over like a 3K gold lead or anything. I think it ticked to like I think 5K was
They
the high.
really want to lead in on towards the Razor. They're being careful, Tundra. They know that there's so much waiting behind him.
Scan comes out, they know exactly where they are.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Whoever presents themselves first, likely to get jumped by Amar in response.
Got 8 buybacks available. The 2 supports on Falcons do not have theirs.
Arm will clip him.
Big poke. 1,100 damage just from one beam.
Power is ready for the rolling thunder. Another tornado. And the jump finish up to the right. Find the opening. Lots of pull it right down on him. Then he's going to take it down on the right. Gets the kill. Thompson's gone.
They didn't even need the doom.
Heads over the rolling thunder. They're ready to start chasing down for more. Thompson immediately comes in with the buyback. Skeeter pushes forward. Pure stay on top of Skeeter. They can stay on top of the Luna. Chase him down. Skeeter's building up the damage. Surviving with the lifesteal. Double kill. Triple kill for Skeeter. He's running.
Look at him go.
He turns. Thompson pulled back for this. He's got to run. Turns with the tornado to hold the back.
Buybacks.
2 more buybacks to come in from Tundra from both Pure and Whitemon. Pure. It was crit heading out to the high ground with the Wind Waker. Forces away as well.
Can Skeeter get away?
Pure's trying to chase. There's the control. They'll throw the Sunstrike out to get them some information, give them some vision. Skeeter into the tree line. They've got to find something with these 3 buybacks. Tundra, but Falcons, they're not letting them. Maori's already out.
Skeeter?
Skeeter.
Stop.
Gets caught by the stomp. Tundra, they will be able to find the Razor. So the buybacks had to come out, but they found the 3 of them. Can they get Maori as well? Cold snap coming in. He's struggling to find the chance to roll up into the rolling thunder. Silence as well. Tundra with the buybacks take the team fight.
What, it's 3 at least, right?
3 buybacks. Pure, Whitemon, and Thompson, of course, at the start.
Right. I mean, they got on top of Pure. This could be X Factor things too. You know, Blink Hex is an oracle while the saves are coming out. Could be impactful.
Pure. He's already poking into the base again. Starting to go for the tier 3. They're bringing the creep wave in on the top. Smoke's going to be coming out from Falcons. It's a difficult fight to take. And one that they don't look afraid to take. Nonetheless, I mean, it's into the Aegis, into the cheese.
They're always trying to look for these type of opportunities to get the wraparounds, right? I think that's when we've seen the most successful fights from them. Amar, he consumed the negatives just before. Full slotted. Here.
It's the old X-Mark and push in between the 2 of them.
Hey, Blink's fast.
Amar is in. He's going to get in with the AoE too. He's in on top of Pure. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. That's going to be the end. Just gone very quickly the first time around. Maori's taking control on the wall. The high momentum. Back to BKB. Trying to get us on the boat. Takes for the stolen boat. Comes out to return. The boat's going to be helping out Falcon as well. Pure is able to separate from Skeeter.
Nice save on Skeeter.
They've just got to try and kite out the Razor. Keep their distance off to the side. And Mark continue to play around Razor. Pure gets back in. Pops the reflection. Trying to go for round 2. He's got an Eclipse ready to go. He's in on the walls. Maori with damage on the Eclipse. Maori trying back in on top of him as Pure backs off. He's a little too low to return to the fight right now.
He almost jumped back in. He had 3 seconds left.
He was tempted.
Because if he gets even one opportunity where there's a stun, I think it'd be
smart. Just initiating with the AoE extreme on himself.
Tundra.
No counterplay to that.
Like around this area, the Midas is picked up for a bar to get that carry off neutral.
He's had it in. Some backup with them. How much they want to try and push for this round? He's going to get held back. Give his back. You're so excited. The dude gets reflected though, so Amar's going to have to step out of the fight for now. Skeeter's not going to get a contra aggression. These 2 rounds of links. For 2 minutes now. Skeeter with Derek build up. Ready to go for more time. He's taking the shot now with Ramses. Ramses getting chased out. We'll be able to keep his distance as he pushes the 2 at the back with the tidal wave. Amar with a refresher. Ready to go for round 2. Drops the dude down with the Lotus. Pushes it. He dudes himself, of course. He was ready for that Lotus play. Amar dudes himself. Again, making so much havoc with the air react. There's 4 dead. 3 of them, they don't have buyback fault.
Pure spent his gold. He bought the refresher, so he's actually short on gold and then having to buy.
The question is how much of Falcon's going to be aware of this.
I don't know if
How heavy are they going to go for the push?
But man, the Doom is on the perfect target. Skeeter just gets the absolute full link. They can't reset the position for Pure this time around.
And he's playing his sides up, as I say. Just going in with the self-doom. These Lotuses and Lincolns, they don't matter whatsoever. Amar ready to play around them perfectly.
They're gonna at least try to force. They might know at least, they know at least like one of them is down. They know the Ram stops it.
Trying to play tactic in the air, open with the Hex. They're going to try and quickly burn through Crit. They're able to take him down. That's the Razor gone, but it's an immediate buyback from Crit.
Toxa.
Get away from this. Under the cover of the Shadow Realm.
What?
The Rolling Thunder comes in. Saxon's got, but he does have the luxury of buyback. Just trying to do whatever they can to slow down this push. Give time for the rest of their teammates to respawn on Tundra. As it stands now, is Thompson against the world.
Sun striking the catapult. It doesn't hit. They still have the catapult.
They're up
Live
for the push. They're ready to get the tier 3, ready to get the racks and maybe more.
Skeeter's going in.
They're going to start feeling it sooner, Falcons. The Tundra just don't have the buybacks. How much can Falcons get? Can they take everything?
30 seconds.
He's going to do his best with the hole. Heavy blast to Skeeter. Skeeter able to push by the 3 of them. Roots able to get the jump in. Tries to get a grab on him with Thompson, but the Leaks is there. Only with the air between the coming against the Thompson. Thompson is trying to get back toward the basket, but Thompson's gone. Out of 2 minutes. The tier 4's falling. The fortification's there. 10 seconds until Pure's back up. They're likely to maybe have one more fight in the Tundra, but it will be without Thompson. Tier 4's, they're gone. They've got to do something soon, Tundra. Falcons.
Pure TPing in. He's gonna go for it.
Let's see what Pure can do. He's going to go straight up on snaking. He's taking back off. And that's all Pure can do. He's having a building control. Onto the pressure. Big.
Oh my goodness.
Coming in from Whiteboard. Sets up the fight to fall into the hands of Pure. The base, it's been defended. Falcons, they have to get on the retreat. They're not going to get the chance to though. Pure jumps over. He's got to set them on towards Maori. They're going to be able to take down the Pyco as well. Tundra hole.
They've got 4 heroes up and there's no Doom. The ideal for them is to try to find that backline, find snaking as it's been most of the game.
Well, that's the thing. At this point, do you think you're kind of happy with Pure just blinking in on top of the Oracle if they see a chance to?
If they can, I mean, snaking has not given them that opportunity, really. And he does have Book of Shadows, so another layer of save that snaking also has in this game. The layers are being added.
Brain track's gone.
Pure.
Bumped up. Here's it. It's back out. Maori, he's going to go for the Rolling Thunder. Tries to put some of a catch he can find, but Tundra's able to split themselves away from this attempt from Maori.
White Mine is about to have another linking sphere, by the way, so...
Just throwing everything onto Pure.
Yep.
They can keep this Lunar alive, get him in on the high ground. They could be moments away from playing against the back of creeps. As it's the damage and speed that they take these down. So that's the mid-racks gone. They've just got one more racks to take care of on the top lane.
Probably just going to shift their way up there to be able to claim that. It's kind of putting the onus onto Falcons to come at them. Falcons. He'll show himself.
That's up to 2. Don't even replace it. This time around, Amar opts to go with the aggressive use of the Doom, and that means that the team needs to call out by the Lotus on good. But straight in into the fight, they're chasing Amar down. Amar trying to split off to the side. They're looking towards snaking. Ramses is in with the control. Has the X-Mark ready.
Amar has the buyback.
The boat's coming in, and they need Amar out for 100. Crit's gone as well. For now, Skeeter though gets caught by the field attack to push back. He'll fight back. be moving forward to the main stage. Here's the Royal Arena getting a pleasure to play in front of the live audience. And my goodness, the crowd's going to love these guys, folks.
That was